I'd like to take this opportunity to say what a pleasure it is to be on a panel with esteemed participants, but also I would like to dedicate this talk to all our survivors. I've called my talk Exercise in My Life, or My Life in Exercise, BC and AD. I plan to show how exercise in its myriad of forms has shaped, defined, and supported me over the many decades. I was born just after the end of the war, 51 BC to be exact, in a rainy cotton mill town called Rochdale, just north of Manchester. Think Coronation Street for attitude and accents. Industrial post-war Britain was a tough environment in which to grow up. Food rationing was in force, housing and working conditions were poor, and most people like me lived without a car, fridge, phone, or TV. Resilience and toughness were the key to survival at this time. The upshot of these deprivations was that walking became an essential part of everyday life, to get to the shops, schools, workplace, and the pub. In Lancashire, walking had another name, Shanks's pony, defined as using one's legs as a form of transport. Buses did exist, but they were to be avoided because of the cigarette fog. For me as a child, though, walking wasn't fast enough. Always short of time, I grew up running everywhere, especially to school, often to avoid the bullies from the local school who despised and tormented schoolgirls in uniform. I learned speed and agility early on as a form of escape. The summers were blissful, spent running free with my friends in the nearby woods and parks, reenacting the adventures that I'd absorbed and stored up during the long winter nights of reading and dreaming. When I was 11, my reward for passing a school selection exam was to take riding lessons, which entailed a 5-kilometer walk each way. Being horse crazy, it was a small price to pay. By my mid-teens, I'd swapped horses for dancing, and the early 60s had great music and lots of dances to go to. I had a mojo ticking away when it came to movement. However, there's another aspect of my childhood that was positively influenced by exercise, and that was the psychosocial. Exercise kept me buoyant and bouncy. As the only child, I carried a lot of weight in terms of responsibility and anxiety. I worried about my mother, who worked long hours from morning to night running her pub. I worried about my father, who was a shell-shock survivor of the trenches. Today they call it post-traumatic stress disorder. Exercise became my escape, release, outlet, and support. I was a testament to the power of endorphins. My mother died of breast cancer when I was 18, and I really did escape, this time to university. When I came to Canada in the early 1970, I sank into a hiatus from exercise. There was no need to walk now that I had a car. I disliked my under-exercised feel. As soon as I could, I found a high school track and started running laps, enough to fire up my slumbering mojo and prepare me for running after small children. The 1980s brought new developments on the exercise scene. Gyms were opening up, and the aerobics craze hit the airwaves, together with the mandatory spandex and the no pain, no gain philosophy. Exercise was suddenly becoming dangerously exciting. By the early 90s, I was a regular gym bunny, reveling in aerobics and step classes. I was finally unleashing my inner dancer. I took up weightlifting at this time and was hooked forever. They say that strength training is the fountain of youth. I hope so. I felt strong, fit, and confident, a sentiment soon to be shattered. In 1997, I had my annus horribilis, like the Queen around that time. In the space of a week, in April of that year, I was diagnosed with both breast and endometrial cancer. End of BC, yes, you guessed, before cancer. Hello, AD. Surgeries in May and June were closely followed by 6 months of chemo and finally 5 weeks of radiation, and not forgetting 10 years of hormonal therapy. My immediate reaction was that my body, which had worked so hard to make strong, had let me down. Then I realized that I could let exercise work for me as an intervention by embracing it as much as I was able to. As soon as possible after my surgeries, I was walking and back to slow running by midsummer. I resumed the classes I enjoyed so much at the Y, though always listening to what my body was telling me. Exercise helped me so much during chemo by giving me mental and physical fortitude. That summer we got a golden retriever puppy, and she provided me with such joy at a time when I needed it. It's been said that dogs are exercise machines with fur. So true. Whatever the weather, 365, they have to be walked. In September 1997, I returned to teaching, which presented a new set of challenges, but I kept my exercise routine going throughout. I truly believe that exercise held me together that year and helped me to survive and thrive. And so it has up to the present, 17 AD. The big difference is that I amped up my exercise program over those AD after diagnosis years. In 2004, I retired from teaching. I became a volunteer in the Survivorship program at the Princess Margaret, certified as a personal trainer, and took up long-distance running. Suddenly, I had the time and the energy needed to train. I ran my first half marathon in an Ottawa heat wave in 2006, so unbelievably tough that at the 17K point, I never thought I'd cross the finish line. It took all my resilience and determination to do so. However, it didn't deter me as I just completed my 12th half marathon a month ago here in Toronto. In my goal time, I was so happy. I'm so proud of my golden dozen, and I plan to run a few more. I hope I can continue running for as long as I'm able. It's my time to meditate and to plan like this talk, as well as giving me the intensity of workout that I need. There are interesting similarities between running long distance and the cancer journey. Both require courage, stamina, and endurance. Both have moments when one feels like one has had enough, like a few of the long runs this cold winter. I liken both chemo and running to climbing a mountain. When one reaches the halfway point, it's all downhill from there. I say my running mantra when the going gets tough. Exercise is about a balance, and I find that running and yoga complement and support each other perfectly. Running, the yang, is fast and aggressive, whilst yoga, the yin, is slow and passive. Yoga for injury prevention and for relaxation are big parts of my flexibility routine. My life in exercise would not be complete without mentioning Healthy Steps, which I co-teach here with Stephanie. I started the program in 2009, when ELLICSR was still a construction site. Since then, at least 400 participants have passed through the program. I would like to take this opportunity firstly to thank Alex, Mayanne, and the Survivorship Committee for allowing me to persuade them to take a chance on me. I'd like to thank all the Healthy Steppers, and I see some here, who have enjoyed sharing my love of music and dance, and who've helped to make Healthy Steps such a vibrant program. They give so much back to me in all kinds of ways. To finish, I truly believe that the love of exercise has transformed my life over the decades. It's been a worthy friend and companion. I like to think of exercise as an umbrella with 5 spokes for the fitness components: warm-up, cardio, resistance training, flexibility and balance, and cool down, all sheltering me from the elements. I'll finish with a paraphrase quote from Lewis Carroll. "The time has come," the walrus said, "to think of a special thing, of exercise, and then some more, and the benefits it can bring. So, define it, refine it, make it yours." But thank you.